What is up, everybody? It is Midwest Raider fans, and we're coming at you with another video for our channel. You have Midwest Raider today. Jimmy will be back hopefully as soon as he can get back. But I'm going to hold it down because I am a Raiders fan. I'm in the Raider Nation. I've entered the badge. I have the swag, and I'm going to hang in there. But it is very painful, guys. And I understand every content creator out there who's just like sick of watching this team lose in tremendous fashion as they did against the Colts week 5, 40-6. Now, to throw some positives in there, it could have been 40-9 if we wouldn't have missed a field goal, special teams getting that blocked, or it could have been 46-9 as they could have scored another touchdown because we had a flag called on our side for once, so we got a call. But they ran a kickoff back on special teams and had scored another touchdown. So really, it could have been worse than it was. If that makes it any better, which it doesn't. But now the Colts are 4-1. We are 1-4. We've been rebuilding since 2003, honestly. We've made a couple playoff appearances, but we've never won a playoff game. I will give some credit to Derek Carr, which I do wish we had still today because he would not be throwing 3 interceptions in a game. I've talked about in my last video, I hated seeing Derek Carr throw it out of bounds, throw it away, throw it down to the running back almost every play. But now I am calling for that with Geno because Geno just loves to throw it, try to thread a needle in double coverage, and he can never get it done. I will say Geno was throwing a little bit better ball this game because it was actually ahead of the receivers on the deep balls. But our receivers couldn't get to it. They were a hair off, they were a touch off, and we couldn't get it done. We couldn't get something to roll our way in this game at all. And so it was a terrible loss in all 3 phases of the game: offensively, defensively, and special teams. It was the first time I saw this team completely shut down at the end of the game. So, in my opinion, the season is correct. Even if we come back and win against the Titans, who actually pulled off a win, they are now 1-4. They almost were going to be 0-5, but they were losing that game like 20-3, and they came back and won. So they're going to be on a high, man. They came back and won. What a meltdown by the Cardinals. But that's the team we're going to be fighting next week. 2 1-4 teams. Oh my God. 2 1-4 teams. That's where we're at. Now, so to give a little insight to this, today I am wearing I'm a DJ, and so I thought this was pretty clever. It says faders, like you're on a mixer, you have a fader. But that's what we are right now. We are the Las Vegas Faders because we have faded out this season, and we're probably not going to do too much. I thought we could win, 7-9 games this year, but no, we ain't going to win more than 4, in my opinion. And even then, it depends on what team shows up. This team is very bipolar. Some days we can compete like we did against the Bears or the Patriots. And then the last 3 games, complete crap shows where we don't show up in any form or fashion. A lot of players said they'd bought into Pete Carroll, but honestly, I think they just bought into cashing paychecks. So this is one of Pete Carroll's worst, tied for second worst loss in his career. One of the worst Raiders losses since 2021 when we lost 48-9 against the Chiefs. And it's the worst season start for Pete Carroll ever at 1-4. So definitely some issues right there just talking about it. Now, this is a game recap, but there's really nothing to recap. There was nothing fantastic about this game. There's no player that really stuck out, in my opinion. We had a few, Ashton Genty, yes, he was the primary focus of the Raiders this game, but we can't do that. you got to be honest with ourselves, people. We can't just focus one player offense. We did that last year with Brock Bowers, and did it really work that many times? No, we were pretty terrible last year too. So we can't focus. Chip Kelly cannot focus a game on one player, and it just seemed like Ashton Genty was the one player that they were focused. Yes, you have to get your best players involved, but they don't have to be the whole game plan. We have other players that can take care of business. We have Jacoby Meyer, who was, I think he got like 2 passes in this game. You got to focus him a little bit more. Trey Tucker, yes, we went to Trey Tucker a couple times, but it just didn't connect. We had some runs with Trey Tucker. We still have to get, I think we have more players that we can use and focus on a little bit more than just one player. And I know we are missing Michael Mayer, Brock Bowers, Colton Miller. So we were trying to adjust there, but we got Jack Besh, we got Thornton. We have some young receivers that definitely need more practice, but somebody's got to be open, in my opinion. And I did see some people open. That Geno is just, I really think he gets too in his own head and just gets focused on certain players, and he tries to force it into him when the other players are probably open. Got to give him a chance. You got to survey the field. You got to go through your progressions. You have to do these things every play. And if you don't, throw the ball away or run out of that pocket, which he's not doing. He said he was mobile. He said, I want to run. I want to do this and that. My legs are still fresh for my age. All this crap talking. And we haven't seen that on the field whatsoever, besides the Bears game where he got out of the pocket a few times. So what the hell, people? What is wrong with the team? I can't put a finger on it because there's games like this where the complete team is garbage. Everybody from defense on, and I hate to put Matt Crosby saying you're garbage because I hate doing that. But even him at the end of the game looked defeated and looked like he was kind of taking a break. They should have pulled you out, Max. I'm sorry. You shouldn't have been playing when it was 30. I know you want to be in there because you are a football player and you're dedicated to this team. I understand that 100%. But you shouldn't have been in there. You should have been out. They should have let somebody else get some reps. And if we were trying to be competitive at the end of the game, like Pete Carroll says, then why the hell were we kicking field goals at the end of that game as well? Why were we doing that? We should have gone for it on 4th down. And why were we trying to? We're trying to get practice for our special teams, I guess. Yeah, they do need the practice as well, but I just don't get it. I don't get some of the choices from coaching. I don't get why Geno Smith has to throw it into double coverage. I don't get why I get why this is one thing I do get. I do get why the defense at the end of this game gave up when it was 30-3, or because it was 30-3, and they're like, enough is enough. How many times have we bailed the offense out this year? Tons of times, and we're not going to bail Geno Smith out again when you throw 2-3 picks in a game. We're just not going to do it. We're done with it. We're fed up with that. And that's when you lost the team. That's when the team was like, we done this game. We done. And it's very, very, very sad to say. Like I said, I'm trying to even think of some positives, but there's, and yeah, I can't even think of positives besides there was a few plays here and there that we, had some decent plays, but it never led to the red zone where we were going to try to score. It just never did. It would always stall out. We'd have a penalty, bring us back. We just the same old crap that we have every game that just kills drives. So, all right, that's pretty much it. That's what we're going to talk about the game. A 40-6 loss. You understand there's no reason to talk about anything else. We did win the time of possession this game. That was fantastic because we had an extremely long first quarter drive that looked scripted and looked good. But then after that, it completely fell apart. We were doing quick passes. We were doing some runs. But then we completely went away from that. Why can't we continue to do slants all game long? Quick slant passes, quick middle passes, quick screen to the running backs, which we tried to continue to do a little bit later, but just quick plays, upbeat, fast tempo, keep them moving. Keep doing it like you were doing it, like you scripted in the first half. Whew. I don't know. All right, so key points already. What are we talking about draft? We're going to be talking about draft already because we're probably going to be in the top 5 draft for the way we're losing. So we could be talking about some draft picks. I think another big thing I want to talk about is why Geno Smith doesn't have any competition. We don't know what Kenny Pickett is. I guess we could try to find out, but probably not going to happen because Pete Carroll's not going to allow that. So this is one point I want to make is why we didn't get any kind of quarterback, some kind of youth to be some kind of the unknown in the background. Like that, I hate to say it, but like that Shador, that Jalen Milroe, that Dylan Gabriel, those players that were still available that the Raiders did have a chance to get. Why we don't have that is terrible. We don't have that. We don't have any competition for Geno. Aiden's hurt. Aiden was the competition a little bit. Aiden's hurt. He's not in there. And Kenny Pickett, we just don't know. So are they going to let him play? At this point, I don't care. But I want to say if we do that, we do know that this season is over. We're not trying to win. We're just trying to test out what we got, honestly. Because I think the focus was Geno. The focus was he was going to help us. But once you put Kenny Pickett in, the focus is we're rebuilding and we're figuring out what we have, which we are. And as Raider fans, we should have known. We shouldn't have been drinking so much Kool-Aid with the win now and all the stuff that they always say. So some things that do need to happen, though, is the coaches, Mark Davis, all need to sit down with the staff and figure things out. What the hell is going on? Why does it look in these games like we don't practice? Why is the O-line doing what it's doing? What changes can we even try? Just try some stuff. I'm not saying you have to do it every week, but just try moving some people around, like putting JPJ at center, because Meredith is garbage and should be fired and should not be playing in the NFL. What is wrong with special teams? Why is special teams look like the shittiest? Even in Oakland, in all my years watching this team, I've never seen our special teams be as garbage as they are right now. We can't kick field goals. We can't block the edge, really. Just doesn't make any sense. But there needs to be some internal changes just to show the fans that we're doing something. We're trying something new. We're doing something new, but we haven't seen anything. Right now, we're just going to fade out. We're just going to be the Las Vegas Faders, and we're going to fade on out. For the rest of the year, we're looking forward to the draft to see who can we pick up. That's where we're at, guys. That's where we're at. So hopefully I talked about a couple interesting things. Hopefully leave me a comment, guys, if you think I'm way off or if you think, yeah, some good directions or good ideas. This is what we think. Let me know in the comments. I'd really like to know. Other than that, I don't really have much. I will give you a game preview against the Titans, which is scary, like I said, because at 0-5, I had a little bit more optimism, but now at 1-4 on a crazy comeback victory, and they're going to be playing the Raiders when it hurts the most. We've seen the Raiders fall down to play at that level. And are we going to fall down and play at that level, or are we going to rise a little bit and say, no, we'd rather be 2-4 than 1-5? So we'll see, guys. We'll see, because we don't know what team's going to show up. We're going to show the team that competed against the Bears and the Patriots but fell short, or we're going to have the teams that completely just laid down and died against the Commanders, the Chargers, and the Colts. We know it. We know what our identity is. It's a team that when they want to show up, we can be competitive, but when we don't, we're going to fall hard. So All right, guys, that's all I got for you guys today, Midwest Raider fans. If it was whatever, it is what it is. Like, subscribe, share. I can't wait to see you on my preview coming up Friday. It'll be coming up Friday, and then we'll see what happens on game day. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, Midwest Raider fans, and we'll see you soon. And as always, man, I'm going to be here. I'm going to recap and preview all year long. So go Raiders.